Yo, now everybody on your feet, let's get a little hand clap. Yeah, we striking stones, what you know about that? Faster than lightning, hitting harder than thunder. Better run back to your homeboy, I wonder. Stomping on the battlefield.
Hi again, everybody, and welcome to the Jamey Chadwell Show here at North Greenville University, where Christ makes a difference. Well, Coach, I've got white knuckles and a hoarse voice after last Saturday night's game from screaming at the top of my lungs. What a wild roller coaster ride that was.
It was pretty exciting. You know, give all the coaches heartburn. You know,
absolutely.
You know, for after the game, but it was a great atmosphere. You know, our fans were fantastic. It was nice, cool weather for the night, and you know, Elroy was a good opponent. It was a great football game. It was almost a tale of two halves, and it was great for us to come out with a victory.
Well, it seems like the defense and Willie Korn really made the difference in the second half, because the first half you had a big opportunity to take control early, but I think Willie let one uncharacteristically slip out of his hands there and kind of changed the momentum of the game.
It did. You know, we get the ball, they get the ball, we get stopped, we drive down, we're up 7-0. They muff a punt, and we're driving down, and just one of those unfortunate things, and that gave them momentum. They get the ball at the 1 yard line, you know, and go in and score, and they're up 14-7. And to our credit, we fought through some things and tried to make it a game in the first half. But you know, I think we had 4 turnovers total in the first half, and for us to be even remotely in the game versus them says a lot about our defense. You know, helping us keep us in until we could get some things going. And but the defense, you know, played well, and Willie really picked it up in the second half and had a good game.
Well, I told the people in the press box I would have loved to have heard your halftime discussion with your team, because you know, only being down a touchdown, you had to give them some encouragement. Say, hey, let's go out and get them in the second half.
You could use the word encouragement. Yeah, I mean, I thought we always play hard, you know, but we just let some little things happen, some of those turnovers and some laps, and I just told them that we got them out of the way and we're still in the football game. You know, and I said, defense, you shut them out, I guarantee we'll score at least 2 touchdowns. We scored 3. They didn't shut them out in the second half, but it worked out well. And I thought we were in the right plays, and we were doing the right thing. So it wasn't hey, you know, we're just terrible. I said, guys, look where we're at. Just make the plays you're capable of. We'll be fine. And it ended up, they made me look like a martyr or whatever you need to call it right there. So.
Let's talk about that defense. One of my favorite plays of the game was Mark Smith's WWE move on the LR running back. Just kind of picked him up and threw him down. Shows how really strong he is at the nose guard.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he's a great player. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves over there. He's our most consistent performer, and he could probably be our player of the game every week. And he plays banged up, and just he's a great representative of a football player, of a Crusader football player, and just one of the guys that if you had a daughter, you'd want him to date her or marry her. I don't have a daughter, fortunately, so I ain't worried about it right now. But he's just a great player, and I think when he does plays like that, you know, it just fires everybody up. You know, because D-line hardly ever, especially nose guard, hardly ever gets any pub. You know, and so, but they played well. He played well. He's a leader over there, and he gets those guys to follow him. He did a great job.
You see, has a lot of guys flopped on top of him. You can never hardly see his number. But the real player of the game, to me, was Jonathan Sharp. We hardly ever talk about him, but what a game he played.
He did. He was, I think, 15 tackles. He had a fumble recovery that was huge down there in the second half. He had a pass breakup. I think he might have had a couple tackles. He was all over the field. He was all over the field, and he's slow but surely. You know, this obviously first year playing with us, and it's taking him a process of learning how to be consistent week in and week out, and he really showed out. And if he plays like that every week, you know, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Your secondary also played pretty well. They had several pass breakups. Jeremy Green with a big interception late in the game. So kind of on a whole, and Nathan Batchelor with 9 tackles, on a whole, the defense played very, very well in the second half.
I was pretty pleased, you know, for the overall. And I think, and I know our defensive staff will tell you the same. We can't let them drive down the field at the end of the game when we're up 2 touchdowns. You know, right there. We had a chance to get off the field a couple times there. I know they're disappointed in that, but for the most part, to be able to hold, I think they're the league's leading rusher, or league's top rushing unit, 200-something yards a game. To be able to hold them to 100 yards rushing, you know, says a lot about how well our defense played, and if they'll continue to do that, which they've had a good year, continue to do that, it gives us a chance to be in every game.
When you make a running team throw the ball, I think you won, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. And I think what happened too is, you know, once we got in the second half, we had the ball 5 times. 1 we took a knee on, the other 3 we had touchdowns, and if we had a 4th and short, if we convert it, we'd probably go down. So we were able to put them, I think, in a little pressure too, because we were moving the ball. They started panicking a little bit because we were taking some possession time from them. So the whole second half, if you could bottle that second half for a few plays here or there and play like that, we'd be happy coaches all the time.
Well, let's talk about your running game. Your running backs are just absolutely exceptional. You've got 3 weapons that very few people can stop.
No, they're good. They all have. They all bring something different to the table. Marcus Wilson's a bruiser. He's going to get the yards inside and bust out. T-Ruck, when he gets on the perimeter, he can run. And then Idris is just makes so many people miss. He's got such great balance, and they all complement each other. And really, they're all unselfish. I'm sure they'd all love to carry the ball 30 times a game and stuff. But the way the offensive line has been playing, creating some holes for them, and then when there's not some holes, they've been making them. And so you can't say enough about those guys. I'm glad we have them. I hope they continue to get better.
How about that running back named Korn? He had a pretty good game on the ground as well.
He did. He did. We had some nice, some simple passes and some different things. He made some nice reads on some passes and different stuff like that. But there in the second half, they were giving us some things that we felt we could take advantage of. And if you take a couple of the sacks away, he rushed for almost 70-something yards on about 5-6 carries. So he had a really good game running the ball and handling the offense and got us in the right play and managed the time and all those things. He did what a quarterback should do, so I was pretty pleased.
Well, Coach, to wrap up the Lenore-Ryan game, let's talk about who gets to strike the Stone Award this week. The one player that's kind of out there that doesn't show up on the stat sheet but shows up on the film.
Well, there was a lot of guys that showed up on the stat sheet. I think the guy you got to give some credit to this week up front is we talked about Mark Smith, and his big play. But I think you got to talk about just the D-line in general because of who you're playing. All they got to do basically is take on double team blocks and all those things. I think you got to mention Stephon Bino. I think you got to mention Jonathan White. I think you got to mention Zach Epstein. Those interior guys that are probably not going to get tons of tackles, but they're helping the linebackers make plays. And I think you got to give them the effort there. And then on our side of the ball, a couple guys that don't give a lot of credit because they never get the ball thrown to them, but I think our tight ends, Lawrence Chastain, Justin Bishop. Lawrence played quite a bit, and I think he's really doing a great job with his role and what he's supposed to do. So I'd like to give those guys that award this week.
Well, Coach, you got to get the memory foam back out again. I had a few of these last year, but this is the first one, an 8-hour bus ride up to Ohio. Well, how much do we know about Central State of Ohio for this Saturday's game?
Well, they're an independent, very like us, and they've got a rich tradition in history. They've won a couple of national championships in Division II, NAIA, and then moved up to Division II. And they're very similar. I'd characterize them very similar to where we were our first year, really trying to set a tone of a program, and they're going through the growing pains that we were in the scheduling and stuff. So they'll be looking for their first win, obviously being hungry, and they've got some good players, and they've got their head coach played in the NFL for 15 years, their offensive coordinator played in the NFL, their defensive coordinator's been in the NFL, and so they've got a big NFL background, so they know what they're doing, and it's now just getting the players in there to help the scheme. So it'll be a big challenge because one, knowing that that we're coming in being ranked before, I think is probably the first time that they've had somebody come in there for a while, and then obviously we got an 8-hour bus trip. There's a lot of things that different go from that, so it'll be a big challenge. And if what's been disappointing to us, we've been hot and cold. We're hot one week and ice cold the next, and so we've got to break that. We've got to break that, and we've got to make sure we go up there we're hot and we're firing on all cylinders because we can come back into Tiger, go 4-2, and that would be where we want to be.
That's why I say the roller coaster. I'm hanging up, we're going up, and we're going down.
Right.
So
we need to get on some straight line.
Let's get it on a straight line this week.
Ride the kiddie ride and just go straight, nice and easy.
As I said, the Crusaders will be up at Central State of Ohio, east of Dayton, this coming weekend. That game is scheduled for 1:30 up in Wilberforce, Ohio. Then the following week, on Saturday, October 15th, North Greenville will take on perennial national powerhouse Carson Newman at Yount Stadium. Kickoff set for 2 o'clock. You can follow this weekend's game on our website, on Twitter, and live streaming on the Stats. So, Coach, have a great bus ride, and we hope to come back with another win and talk about Carson Newman next week.
Looking forward to it, and fans were great Saturday night. We appreciate it. We've had a great home field advantage. Please continue that here in the next couple of weeks.
We want to see standing room only on October 15th. Okay, for Coach Jamey Chadwell, I'm Fred Battenfield, and this is the Crusader Sports Network.